What's up, everybody? It is I, Sigma, and we are back with episode 10 of the BBET GamesCast. I'm joined once again with here with my two co-hosts. Here's Blue Bones.
What's going on, y'all?
As well as Superman Jeff.
Hey.
And as we do always, we're going to start with what we've been playing for the week or past weeks, however long, whatever, it doesn't matter. Jeff, what have you been gaming on this past week?
I've been playing a little bit more of Ultimate Alliance 3.
Right, yeah, you copped that last week, right?
It's pretty good. I love the cutscenes. I love the original story. Mm-hmm. It's actually very original. I don't think I've dealt with it. They've mixed like a few different storylines together, and you go to like pretty much everywhere. I'm not gonna lie. I was playing as got Black Panther last night, and I was playing as him. He and Thor are probably my favorite characters.
I think I heard something about Black Panther being like really dope in that game.
He is. He has a moveset from the movies. Remember that suit where he can absorb kinetic energy and then disperse
that's
it?
In there.
Yeah.
So I hit the button, it'll start absorbing attacks. And then when I let the button go, it'll put out this field, kind of like in the movies, that deal damage. So it's pretty cool. Him, Captain America, and Thor. Captain America, because he can do an ability where he puts out this, like, it looks like a huge shield, but it's just his normal shield. Mm-hmm. And it eats any type of attack.
Really?
Any type of projectile it sends back at the enemy.
That's more that Wakandan technology.
Yeah, it's even against like bosses.
Oh,
so
really?
Wow. Block bosses, any type of beam, I can block it with Captain America. And then Thor, I kind of like leveled him up to the point where he does like a crap ton of damage. Even my other fourth is Miss Marvel. Oh, yeah? Not Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, the one who can kind of stretch her body.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about.
The Muslim one.
Yes.
Like her name is like Kamala something.
Exactly.
Kamala Khan.
I know what you're talking
Yes.
Okay.
I think
she's an Inhuman, but she goes by the name of Miss Marvel. So those are my four. But I thought Black Panther's design, his abilities are very, very, very cool. Up until the way he moves. Yeah, it's and they did a really good job with him. And like I said, the cutscenes are great. The storyline is great. Like I said, the only downside would be the cameras. Camera has a little bit of issues sometimes. If you move into a certain angle, you're kind of like looking through the wall.
Uh-huh.
You know, like that type of view. Yeah. And then the ability to move the camera isn't great. So you can move it a little bit, but it's not that great.
Yeah.
But they changed it from that over the top view to more of a an
3/4.
angle. Yeah. So that, and then what else? Mortal Kombat. I've been playing a little bit of Mortal Kombat. Last week on the stream, I did the towers, and I'm getting more comfortable with the collector.
So that's still your main guy right now.
That's still who I'm working on. After I finish him, I'm thinking about somebody else. I just don't like that they lock abilities. They lock your moves, some of your moves. So like one of my fatalities I can't do, it says locked. So I'm going to figure out if there's something I have to do to unlock it, and I'm like...
In Mortal Kombat 10, what you had to do is you had to go through some of the challenges with them, and then there's like the crypt that you have to go through. I was thinking. Yeah,
that's probably where they locked up.
There.
They
also had an option where you could pay like $10 and unlock everything.
I remember that. This one doesn't have it.
Not yet, at least.
No, yeah. But I'm like... so I'm trying to unlock some more skins and stuff. So I did some of the tower. I mean, like I said, combat is great. He's feeling very, 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 very comfortable. And I play as him now. It doesn't take as much. I do need to get another controller because I like to use the D-pad. And the D-pad sucks on the one that I can use my mic with. Just because the D-pad is a lot more, for me, reliable. If I'm pressing down, it's not going to press over, down. You know what I mean? That could be on my mistake, but also I'm just more comfortable with the D-pad.
That's exactly it just makes more sense in general for most
games. It just feels a lot better and more reliable. So when I'm trying to teleport, he'll actually teleport instead of doing like a sweep.
Yeah.
You know? So, and that's pretty much all I've been playing.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
Blue, did you want to go next or?
Yeah, I got it. As you guys know, I'm doing Final Fantasy 14 still. Now I'm into the I'm into endgame stuff, post story. it's actually still pretty cool. I was paying attention a little bit less, just because I'm looking at top level gear, and I was working with some of my free company members to get these big raids done. But it's still the cutscenes are gorgeous. The action is cool.
So there's still cutscenes and story and stuff. Even
yes.
After... Okay.
Yeah. And it's kind of all cleanup stuff, because like right now, at the end of the story, you know, you kind of erase the dark threat. Well, technically it's the light threat, but anyway, you erase the threat and you kind of bring a balance to the world, and now you're kind of finding out where it all went wrong from the get-go. And so you're finding who did this whole big calamity in this first realm, and you're trying to pretty much stop it from happening again. It's lying dormant, you're going back. So that's super cool. I've also, you know me, I'm on my Overwatch game. I've been playing with a couple different people and learning Baptiste a lot. That being said, well, we're going to talk about that later. Never mind. We'll talk about the new character later. Because I was rocking on the PTR a little bit earlier today and yesterday, so and looking at
trying them. Okay, yeah. So we'll get into that a bit.
We'll talk about that later. And then Monster Hunter World. I'm trying to get back.
Yes, do it. What's your current hunter rank?
If we're going to get into that, we need to do it as a collective.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has to catch up because when Iceborne comes out.
Yeah,
he needs to be ready.
The other day, and we were doing a little bit, but because Iceborne comes out when?
I think end of the year.
Oh, so it's a ways off.
Yeah, it's not like next month or something. I think we still have some
it's like I think I saw October, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. But
I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, so I'm kind of prepping to be comfortable by the time that drops. You know what I mean? And I've played it before on the P4, so right now it's a little kind of frustrating and boring to go through all those struggles I did before. But it actually drops September 6th. I just looked it up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you beat me.
Yeah. So it's not too far off.
Yeah.
Definitely got to put this work now. So I'm going to be doing some of that on stream, and then obviously off stream as well. Yeah, that's basically it for the kid. I'm still doing I'm stuck on this one level on what's it called? Party Kill. Oh my gosh, on my phone. That game I was telling you about.
Right, the mobile one, yeah.
It's called Total Party Kill. I'm stuck on this one level. I can't get through it. I was strongly considering doing some old school stuff and looking it up, some like game facts stuff. But I'm still, like every now and then you kind of leave a game and then come back and then try it out.
Right.
One more game I totally forgot. Dr. Mario World just recently dropped.
Yeah, not too long ago.
It's a mobile
version.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and it's difficult. It looks like Tetris.
Bowser?
Yes, of course I'm playing as Bowser. Yeah. Why wouldn't I?
Bowser's like that kid who was pretending to be doctor at Beth Israel for like 10 years.
Oh my goodness. You know what's funny? So it has a little storyline, right? Like all these viruses come into the world, and you have to say. So at first it's just Mario, and you go through the tutorial, and then Bowser shows up. He's like, "Oh, my goons are infected too. I got to take care of my people." And so you get to have the option to play as Bowser, and that's super cool. I thought it was nice that they kind of put him on the
that is a pretty
side.
Cool little way to add him in. Yeah.
Bowser takes care of his people. That's good to know.
Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? The healthcare is real.
It is real. Kingdom. Bowser care. Haha.
Bowser care.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. So that happened. That's gonna kill the segment. What you got, Sigma? What you been playing?
Man. So yeah, I've been like real heavy into like work stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the game that I just finished playing, the review came out yesterday or so, or 2 days ago rather, I think. Is this indie game called Horus. Like almost nobody was talking about it, it seemed, because it released like a week ago, but I got assigned to it because apparently there was buzz about it, being something special. So I took it on, and man, that game is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, like there's. It combines a whole lot, but at its core, it's a hardcore platformer. So think, you guys remember when I was playing Celeste, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's about as difficult as Celeste in terms of the platforming, but in terms of story, it's got fully rendered pixel art cutscenes. So like if you ever watch like those dorkly animated shorts on YouTube where they use pixel art and cartoon stuff to like make video game characters do all sorts of stuff, it's kind of in that vein where like it's sprites, but like they're doing all sorts of stuff. It's like really cinematic, like camera angles, and they mix a bunch of stuff, and it tells a really good story. Like Horace is a robot who is basically raised by this like affluent family. They're like a rich family, and the old man, they call him, who's like the head of the family. He's like super nurturing and caring. Like all his servants and stuff, they come from kind of different walks of life, and he's kind of bringing them into his house and helping them out. Like his driver, for example, is like an ex-con. His cook is like this woman who is a hoarder, and like her being with the family kind of helping her not be as much of a hoarder. Yeah. So it's like all these different characters, like they're unique, like they're interesting, and they all come together to form this kind of makeshift family. And then something tragic happens. I won't spoil it. And Horace kind of shuts down as a result. So years and years later, he wakes up and the family is scattered and separated.
Oh my gosh.
So you come to find out that a war happened. And Horace, the war was between robots and humans. So Horace basically has this connection with all these humans, and he's running around this war-torn, separated, like segregated world, trying to find his family and bring them all back together and kind of piece together what happened in the interim of while he was shut down. And like, so that story is like super amazing. The platforming and boss fights are very, very difficult. Probably one of the hardest games I've ever had to deal with. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Sekiro included?
Yes. Yeah. Like it's crazy hard, which is kind of a ding against, because I personally love challenging games, but when you have a story that compelling and you have gameplay that difficult, there are a lot of people who will quit, like just outright be like, well, forget this, I can't get to it, or they'll just go on the internet to find out what happens next, as opposed to finishing the game themselves, because it's that hard.
Wow.
Like you really gotta stick with it. But on top of just those two aspects, there's a third aspect. There's tons of mini games in Horace, and a lot of them have to do with just straight up rhythm. So like you'll see like the guitar, like the Guitar Hero or Rock Band note highways. Yeah. And the music that they play for that stuff is amazing. Like it's like this chiptune music is dope. The best chiptune soundtrack I've heard in a video game ever was Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Yeah.
Because that was made by an actual chiptune band called Anamanaguchi. The stuff in this game is on par with anything from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. And there's a lot of it. There's like maybe 3-4 times as much music in this game than Scott Pilgrim. And all of it is good.
It's funny. I was looking at your review, and I was seeing those mini games. You know, you had the kind of classic car driving one. Yeah. And they even did some like really cool throwbacks. That one snowboarding game, I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
What's it called? Like
tricky.
No.
It's like the arcade
Windows
one.
Game.
Yeah, like you've probably played a version of it on like a flash thing on your computer at some point in the past. Exactly. But it was like a downhill snowboarding thing. All that's
and there's this monster that always comes and gets you at the end.
Yeah, so the only thing against it is how difficult it is, because even some of those mini games can be really hard, and they'll throw like a bunch of them at you at once. Like one boss fight in particular was actually a string of those mini games with limited lives. So if you lost all your lives, you would basically go back to the first mini game and then have to go through the gauntlet again. So yeah, like that was really tough. That's probably the most I was frustrated while playing. But I really do think like the story was worth it to get through all that stuff. So if you have the opportunity, it's only like $15 on Steam. Hopefully it'll come out on other platforms later on. Like more than likely it'll hit the Switch at some point in the future, because it seems made for like portable stuff. But definitely check out Horace if you can. That's probably like the whole past week I've been playing nothing but that, honestly.
HORUS. I gotta check out. Did you say the review dropped yesterday?
The review came out I think yesterday or the day before.
Okay.
Jeff, how you spell Horace?
Like the god, like the Egyptian god. HORUS.
Yeah, I know what he was thinking.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's like no, it's Horace, like a European name or something. Yeah, HORACE.
How do you spell it,
HORACE.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much all.
No, but I got you.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing for the week. And it's
trying to put me on the spot.
Right, I saw peep that.
You know what? I definitely started that way.
Son,
and then I heard your explanation, and I said, okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, it's good that it's not spelled that way, because then you would think it might have something to do.
Have something to do with that.
Yeah, with Egyptian stuff. And it really.
Because the first thing I was thinking, like,
there's a lot in that game, so I'll leave it at that. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with the Egyptian god, but there's a section in it that would maybe make you think it could.
Interesting.
But anyway,
Interesting.
we're going to move on into our topics. That's what we've been playing for the week.
Yeah,
first up, Jeff was actually talking about controller issues. So Nintendo was at the receiving end of a lawsuit regarding Joy-Con drift, they were calling it. But it's really just when you have an analog stick and it kind of gets locked in a certain direction. So even if you're not moving in that direction, your character will, or your cursor will and stuff. And it can really mess up a lot of different games because a lot of games depend on movement.
Of course.
But the thing is, it was happening so frequently with all these Joy-Cons, and they're really expensive to like get replacement for. Joy-Cons are like $80 a pop.
Oh man!
So folks were like kind of getting fed up, and then we're joining together for a class action lawsuit to sue Nintendo about kind of faulty
shoddy workmanship.
Right? Yeah. But as a counter to this, Nintendo basically started offering free repairs. So if you have the issue, even if you're out of warranty, even if you don't have a receipt to prove that you purchased the Joy-Con, they're going to cover you at no charge. If you've even paid to get a Joy-Con repaired in the past, they're saying they'll refund you. So just call them, show them that you've had the thing paid for, and they'll refund you. So this doesn't affect the class action lawsuit. Like it doesn't stop that from happening. But it's definitely
they can go back and say,
it's definitely Nintendo's attempt
we
to
made reparations to fix our mistake.
Right. And of course, if you basically get your issue fixed, you probably won't bother joining the class action lawsuit. So it kind of discourages that from even happening.
Unless you super.
And if he does, it kind of like kind of takes you out. Hey, well, didn't we fix your Joy-Con? Like how you?
Yeah, like
us
what is the claim for that?
That's kind of it reminds me of the Red Rings of Death.
Right.
To that accident.
Yeah.
Where all these consoles are getting bricked and get red ringed, and Microsoft they took care of it. Send it in, we'll fix it, we'll send it back as many times as it happens. And guess what? They wind up not being sued. So I think as long as they take care of the customer and make it right, I think most people will generally understand. It
did seem like Nintendo didn't care about this issue until
the class action
class action lawsuit started getting some weight behind it. But the thing is, this isn't an issue unique to Nintendo. Like my 360,
Xbox,
not my 360, my Xbox controllers,
Xbox One,
I just had to sell my customized Xbox One controller because it suffered from the drift, and I couldn't be bothered to fix it. I'll say, like I could have got the parts and stuff, but I didn't want to even bother to go through that. I just sold it to GameStop because they were just taking them anyway, and then just use that money towards buying a new one. So I mean, do you think that there's a chance that other companies will maybe adopt what Nintendo's doing for this exact issue?
I think if there's a huge complaint, you know what I'm saying, another class action, they're going to try and jump ahead of it. On the surface, it looks like a good move. It looks like very, I was trying to say this word in my head, philanthropic.
That checks out.
Yeah, okay.
That's a word.
All right, cool. I rehearsed it.
Let me get my thesaurus.
It felt that way initially, but then when you see that it's in response to the threat of a class action, it's kind of like, okay, you're covering your butt,
right?
But at the same time, it's kind of like you're doing the good thing. You're doing a good thing for the wrong reason. That's how
I can see that.
We can also look at it like this: they could have first thought it was a few people. I mean, because you think, 50 people have that issue. Okay, they complain, blah blah blah. But then when you get like enough people to have a class action, also it's like, oh well. That is a lot of people.
Now y'all serious?
Maybe we did do something wrong, or maybe there is an issue with it. So it could be either way.
I feel what you're saying. I guess personally, I would have liked if they did this right before there was a class action.
I agree.
Or talks of it. You know what I'm saying? If there's like, okay, there is enough people talking about it, let's go ahead and fix this issue. And then whoever was like whispering about class action, they're like, oh, okay, no, never mind. They're fixing it. We're good to go.
Because you figure they could have did a test on their own, on a normal Switch to see if the Joy-Cons were, not as dependable as they should be. I mean, because I'm thinking that's what they did at Microsoft.
It came up in QA.
Probably because there was also the issue of the left Joy-Con specifically desyncing all the time. Like it would basically just not be connected to the rest of the thing, and that happened early on. People were complaining about it, and then Nintendo started issuing I think like a slight adjustment to newer consoles that came out where they addressed it. So I guess no matter how much QA testing you do internally, once it gets released to the public, you're going to start to find
not much, like stuff that you didn't necessarily find. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, it's good that they're fixing it.
Yes.
I wonder I do wonder if the class action lawsuit will continue to have legs. But more than that, I wonder if other companies will try to head off similar things, because that drift thing, that's been a thing since like the N64 era, when you first introduced joysticks.
Yeah,
Like, they would give you the little notification saying, "Oh, don't hold the stick when you turn on the system, because then it'll be off kilter or whatever you have." So that was a thing that I was aware of all the way back then. Nowadays, it doesn't seem like that much of it is an issue, but just use in general will cause your sticks to drift.
Like your D-pad.
Because it's so
sensitive. And it's never a thing that companies seem to cover in terms of repairs, even though it's such a common issue. It's like they consider it like normal wear and tear. Just get a new controller.
Yeah, because that's what they want you to do. They want you to get.
Yeah, they want you to get a new controller.
I'm gonna tell you something, right? The other day, one of my controllers. Well, I finally brought in one of my controllers that was messing up to GameStop, and I had bought the warranty. Thank God I bought the warranty, right? Which I shouldn't have to do.
I never get warranties.
Process, right? But I got the warranty. I brought it into GameStop. I say, hey, look, I need to get a new one. They got the drift. It's got the drift on it. They checked it out. They're like, yeah, it's got drift. Here's a new one. Blah blah blah. Went home, turned this controller on. Drift immediately
out of the box.
Now it wasn't a brand new one, right?
Oh, okay.
But these are supposedly certified pre-owned controllers.
Yeah, that's not
and
okay.
I had to turn myself right back around and say, "You guys just gave me another bad controller."
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. They went,
test it?
gave me another one. Yeah, and as I was walking out the door, I'm like, "Can we just check this one out real quick?"
You're right.
Tell me why the third one had drift.
Did it really?
Yes.
See, good thing you listened to me.
That's because you know what?
Exactly right.
Because the controllers I sold to GameStop, I sold them because they had drift. I'm assuming they have the means to fix them. If they're just selling them right back, then that's actually like really garbage.
It was pretty terrible, on GameStop's end. So the fourth one actually didn't have drift, and I still got the fourth one right now sitting on my desk. So we're going to cross our fingers for that. But the fact is, that shouldn't happen.
No.
I shouldn't have to go through 3 controllers to get a good one.
And
this is not with me like throwing my controller around or anything like that.
Just normal use.
I played probably more than that average gamer, but I'm not getting paid to play games yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So it's a little disheartening.
Yeah.
It feels like, now I'm not going to say like controllers are super easy to put together. I'm not going to say that, right? But I'm going to say there are good controllers. There have been, and they can do better. I feel like they can do better.
Yeah, they even just on the customer service end, knowing that it's a potential issue, like controllers have been dealing with this for so long, it should be covered. Like if your controller gets drift, that shouldn't, like they'll do like physical damage or just completely non-functionality. That's the stuff that they'll cover. But drift, they act like, no, you got to deal with that on your own.
No, I don't.
Yeah, like why?
Now, when it comes to other companies covering repair costs, I think they're going to do the same thing as Nintendo. Until there's something on paper, something legal, they're not going to do nothing about it. I highly doubt, and I'm not saying I don't want it to happen, but I highly doubt that Microsoft, Sony, Stadia,
right? Because they have an actual controller, so
yeah,
they'll have
the
to
only
deal with
thing
it.
they got to worry about is controllers. Like,
right.
Honestly, if the Stadia has bad controllers, we got a huge problem in the technology industry because you have one job.
Right. All you're working on is a controller, so make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, we already messed up by putting sticks on the same plane as opposed to. But that's a whole nother thing. We're gonna move on from controllers and stuff. So, the next topic. Apparently, there's a John Wick spin-off series that's gonna be reportedly in the works, coming from who is it? Lionsgate Films and Stars, the premium movie channel. It's supposed to focus on the Continental Hotel, like the backstory. So they're going way back before all the events of any of the movies, and they want to kind of tell you the history of that, assassin hotel and how it fits into the larger world and stuff. What do you guys take on a John Wick spinoff that's not about John Wick, but is about the Continental Hotel, which is featured prominently in the movies?
I think it's a good idea to go that far back because it gives them so much mythos that hasn't been touched as far as the John Wick universe goes. It gives them so much to play with. They can kind of create it as they go along, pretty much, because there's so much foundation that hasn't been laid. it's pretty much been, hey, this is the Continental Hotel. There's different hotels in different countries now. We know, because of the last movie, but we don't know how they came to be or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because John Wick won't be in it or about him, as long as they keep up that same energy, that same action,
exactly,
I think it could be a really, really good show. So we got that coming, and it looks like they're going for more gritty TV. Like if you can tell from we talked about Watchmen.
Yeah,
on HBO.
So they're going for that grittiness, that in your face, brutality,
that savagery.
Yes, I think it can do fairly well as long as they keep up that same energy.
They did say that there were talks of Keanu Reeves making an appearance at some point, but again, it's still super early. And this would be a Keanu Reeves who was like, I guess, still heavily involved in the assassination world. Like this isn't him, trying to be a good guy and trying to get out and stuff. So I think that could be cool. But Blue, did you have?
Yeah, one thing I do want to see, if this series pops off the way I would like it, I want to see Lance Reddick, aka Captain Zavala, right?
Right.
But he was the concierge in the first John Wick movie, I think it was.
All of them.
And the second one.
Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
All three.
I actually haven't seen the third one. I was supposed to.
Do yourself a favor. It is actually
I've been telling my
good.
girl for the longest time we need to go watch that, and then Spider-Man came up, and then this and that, and blah blah blah. Anyway, fact is, I want to see Lance Reddick in it because I think he's an amazing actor. He does great TV as well. I watched Fringe a while back, and the very first season of Fringe is one of my favorite seasons of like sci-fi television. I'm not going to talk about the rest of them, but the very first season of Fringe was amazing, and he killed that role. I would love to see him in this TV series for the Continental. I loved his demeanor and his poise in everything in John Wick 1 and 2. So if he keeps that same energy, just like Jeff was saying, and everybody around the hotel keeps that same energy, I'm sold.
Okay, so it's going to be kind of hard for him to come back.
Okay, it's a prequel though, right?
Since he's dead.
Stop.
Why would you even?
I'm just joking.
But you know, like that. Those are the kind of spoilers where if you say that, then now you know the opposite is true. So it's still a spoiler.
We don't know.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
all right. So I personally have some reservations about a series being made because, like, as much as I love the John Wick movies, they're not actually super big on story. What you're getting is actually a lot of lore. Like, you get kind of hints of story. You get teases of history and stuff. And, like, that kind of leaves a lot up to interpretation. The more movies they've made, the more they flesh stuff out. And luckily, that has still been pretty good. But I feel like the more they try to drill down and actually tell you a story, like they're talking about telling you the history of the actual Continental Hotel right now, I feel like that could kind of start to get in the weeds and move away from the mythos that kind of just surrounds the action. Because as a TV series, yeah, go ahead.
You know, they have this whole blood pack thing that was
the marker.
Very prominent. The marker, exactly. They're very prominent in the second John Wick movie. And I would like to see that used more. And they talked about the High Council, right, in the second movie. That was a huge deal in the second movie. So that's showing more of the organization. I would like to see how those got put into place, or how previous management affected the John Wick series that we see today. So that's more what I'm looking forward to, rather than the inception of the Continental.
And they got a good team over at Stars. If you notice, a lot of their stuff, like you ever watch The Chi, stuff like that, they have really good stories. Yeah, American Gods is a great example. So,
and oh boy was in it too.
The hotel manager.
The manager, I can't remember his name, but he was in American Gods as well. So he's definitely got a good history with.
Matter of fact, now that you say that, Lance Reddick was also Doctore on Spartacus, which was a Star series.
Yeah.
So like he also has like lineage with Stars. that's pretty funny.
Now the latest season of American Gods kind of got away from me. It got a little bit too what's the word? Existential, I think.
Okay.
However, I mean,
it is about gods.
I don't. like it's about gods. You have to, when you're making a movie, you're making a TV series, you have to make it relatable to the humans that are watching it. So that being said, I feel like they have the capabilities to make this a good series.
Okay. Yeah, I have high hopes for it. I don't want them to think that
to lose who they are.
Exactly. Because honestly, John Wick is the most video game movie not based on a video game that exists. Like, it's mostly gameplay.
I'll give you that.
It's like hardcore Henry, but in third person.
Right. Yeah. Right. So if they focus on too much of like the lore and the story and just build that out, like, it may kind of mute it some, because I feel like it's harder to do action in a series than it is in a movie, because the budget.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Like, you have to do more of it, and you probably don't have as much money to spend on doing it.
This series I feel like it's gonna drop if they do too many slow episodes in a row. So too many just fleshing out the story in a row, which is, I think, is exactly what you're saying. If they don't have that action in every episode, or at least every other episode, they're gonna lose a huge audience base.
Yeah, like, it can't. Like, I'm worried that they'll try to turn it into like an interpersonal drama in the vein of Game of Thrones that had some good action, versus an action show that has some good lore in it. Like, there's good setup for the action.
I think they need to follow the formula of Into the Badlands. I think
right, yeah, Into the Badlands had a lot of good action, and then it had a dope world to kind of have the action happening. Like, the story itself, if you focus on that, wasn't that great. But it was passable because the action kind of that's actually a really good example of what I think.
I didn't think you watched
this would need to
shows like that, so that's a surprise.
What? What you talking about? Hold on, I just heard what you said.
I said that was a good comparison.
Yeah, that's not what you said. But I have to give shout out to the lady for giving me that suggestion. She said
I figured that couldn't come from you.
I got good taste in shows. She's got good taste in shows too. You know what I'm saying? We just kind of meshed it together. Yeah,
that's how they met, because they were tasting shows. It was a show tasting.
Yeah, we met talking about Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars.
But anyway, was there anything else you guys want to add about the John Wick series, or?
No, I mean, another good example would be, just came out, called The Boys on Amazon.
Bro, I need to watch that.
Yeah, I want to start that.
Check it out. It does a good job as well of meshing that action. Story's okay. I mean, I didn't know it was based off a comic, so I went back and looked. Did some reference, some research on the comic, and the comic kind of, where the show goes, the comic kind of split off. Where the show kind of went super left wing. Yeah, the comic was more to me of a political statement as opposed to what the show is. So definitely check that out if you guys haven't.
The Boys.
All right. Yeah, I started watching that show, Good Omens. So when I'm done with that, when I'm done with that,
it looks like a bad omen to me.
Honestly,
I agree.
The two main guys, David Tennant and the other guy, I can't remember his name right now.
I know.
Kilgrave.
That's David Tennant, but the other British guy too. They're actually really, like, they have crazy good chemistry together. So I actually really like it watching those two talk to each other for the most part. But the other stuff that's happening kind of just to facilitate them talking. But that's a whole other thing. So that's pretty much it on our thoughts of the John Wick spinoff. Hopefully that comes out. Apparently it's going to come out after the fourth movie at some point. So it's going to be a while before we hear more about it. But we'll keep our eyes and our ears peeled for that. But still in, like, TV news, the Harley Quinn animated series dropped another trailer. They did like a little teaser where she was kind of just talking to the camera, and I actually thought that was pretty good and funny. But this was like a whole legit trailer. They were playing a sped up kind of punk rock version of the Mary Tyler Moore song, which was like oddly fitting. And like all the clips was like Aquaman like high fives a dolphin in it. Like it looks really, really funny, and like they're cursing.
Super fun.
Yeah,
have you seen the Harley Quinn and the Batman?
Yeah,
the animated movie that came out a while ago. It's reminiscent of that type of comedy, that type of Harley Quinn, where it's like it's a little bit edgy.
Yeah, like it's adult.
It's funny. Yeah,
it is adult.
What I'm saying? And I think that's where that's gonna succeed at. That's who they're gonna have to market that to, because otherwise, I don't see it working as far as an action, DC. You know, you go watch Batman or the Justice League or Young Justice. This is filling that other part of it where it's some comedy. You know, it's lighthearted. It's not lighthearted. It's a little dark comedy.
Yeah, it's dark. And, it's definitely like a dark comedy.
Her being a little dirty. It's, some humor, some making fun of certain characters. That's where that's going to succeed at because they don't have anything in that block now.
Right. It's kind of like an Adult Swim show in the DC universe.
Agreed. Yep.
Like a Rick and Morty or a Boondocks or something.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. You're never going to hear me say that DC animated movies, TV shows suck, right? You're not going to hear me say that.
No,
I'm super excited about Harley Quinn because of their track record with their animated series. And that trailer was great, and like you said before, the Mary Tyler Moore version I thought was super fitting.
Right, like it tells you like they're kind of clued, like the mindset the creators seem to have for the show is like very like humorous. They're like, okay, this think of Mary Tyler Moore, but like not Mary Tyler Moore, because Mary Tyler Moore is wholesome. Harley Quinn is not at all. So it's like,
but she's trying to be this classy lady, making it in the big city, you
right?
Know what I'm Yeah, and I love how they're highlighting her, not just because she's the crazy hot girl, but she's really developing her own personality and her own network. You know what I mean? I like how Batman makes an appearance and doesn't steal the show. I love how Joker makes an appearance and doesn't steal the show.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like her trying to live her life post-Joker. So it's not like she's tied to him. She's trying to get away from him.
In the original comics, the Femme Fatales, she was actually like dating Poison Ivy,
right?
And her and
Poison Ivy makes a appearance too. Like a lot of different heroes are making appearances, so it'll probably be like kind of a variety of different characters.
Don't forget they got that movie coming out too. Who does? Gotham City? Was it Sirens?
Birds of Prey. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I forgot about that.
That's an animated one, right? Or that they're doing a live?
No, that's going to be real live action.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably maybe a little more worrisome.
That's why I forgot about it.
Also, so I'm wondering if they're going to put that on their DC Universe streaming service.
Which, the movie or the Harley Quinn series?
The Harley Quinn.
No, yeah, that's definitely coming to DC Universe. Yeah. That's what that's for.
If they don't...
They have some good content on there. They have some really good content. I think people sleep on it. The Swamp Thing, oh my God, Swamp Thing is...
Didn't they say that canceled? Yeah, it got canceled after one episode.
They didn't cancel it. No, but they didn't cancel it because it wasn't good. If you check out the reviews, it was critically acclaimed from the first episode. I forgot. I have to look it up again, but there was something controversial. The reason why they canceled it, but like I watched it. I watched it almost like in one sitting. That's how good it was.
Yeah, I heard it was amazing. It's just there was some political stuff on the side why they couldn't continue. It just kind of sucks when you.
It sucks because it's a really good show.
Yeah, if it was that good, that's a shame.
It is.
Yeah. You don't hear so many good things about live action DC stuff in general.
No. I know KC didn't like Titans, but Titans is okay.
I didn't start it yet. What do you mean?
Oh, who was that?
Yeah, I didn't.
No, that wasn't you. That was somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah, I still haven't watched it yet.
Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol was pretty good. It was that lighthearted. It was like an in-between of, let's say, Teen Titans Go and then Teen Titans. It had humor, but it had its serious points as well. So it was pretty good. So I definitely suggest people check that out.
That stuff I do intend to get to at some point. I've been catching on a lot of anime, but I've moved back into like TV in recent years. So hopefully I'll be able to get to that stuff soon. But
yep, definitely.
So we're gonna move on from the Harley Quinn stuff and get into proper video game talk.
Video games.
Blue was really excited about the addition of the new character, Sigma. Right now he's in the PTR. He's not dropping in the main game just yet, but Blue, you actually got some time with the new character in the PTR. What are your thoughts on Sigma?
Sigma
not me,
is...
the Overwatch character, Sigma.
Well, you know me. First of all, when it comes to Overwatch, I love the lore. I can't get enough of it, and they always give me bits and scraps, and I chomp on it like... I feel stupid every time. I'm like, oh, I want to know more because it's the same exact reaction, and they're never gonna give me more story.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite of the John Wick thing we were talking about. Like they're giving you lore and stuff in Overwatch, and it's good, but I kind of want them to just tell me the story.
Yeah, like Overwatch keeps expanding their universe without filling in the blanks, you know. But anyway, this character is super cool. It looks like he's got like 3 split personalities, but the fact is he was a researcher He was a doctor, and he loved astrophysics. He was going into harnessing gravity, the power of gravity. His whole thing is like gravity holds us down. Now I'm gonna hold gravity down, kind of deal. Which is it's kind of interesting, kind of cool. He's got.
I'm sorry, that sounds real dumb to me.
I'm gonna hold it down now.
You see what he does. You know, you can kind of see how his philosophy goes through his skills and his actions. He's a tank, right? We know that. He's got this 2-round burst. It's like, what are those like toys called where they're the 2 balls? Yeah, and you like spin them around in your hand. I can't remember what they're called.
We just know they're balls. Concentration balls. I didn't want to say it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not because it's not a stress ball because those are the ones you like.
Aren't they concentration balls?
Yeah, I don't know the name of them.
Anyway, now. It looks like he's got 2 of those that are like floating in his hand, and he throws them both at the same time. It's 2-round bursts, and they do AoE damage when they actually collide, and they're always gonna collide because they're always shot in the same spot. I feel like the Overwatch developers wanted to use that scattershot arrow that came from Hanzo before.
My bad. They're called Meridian balls.
Meridian balls. Okay.
Oh
my gosh, you just can't avoid it, right? Meridian spheres. So the Hanzo Scottish shot arrow that they got rid of a while back.
Right, that's exactly what I thought of when they showed the ricochet thing.
Yeah, they still wanted to use that technology. So now his 2 Meridian spheres can bounce off of walls, floors, ceilings, and it makes it actually really cool. Apparently, right now, that's the best strategy to hitting targets. Excuse me. And like I said, when they collide, they do an AoE damage, which is kind of cool. It's not a whole bunch of damage, but his shield is one of the greatest shields that I've seen.
Yeah,
that's why I can put out multiple shields.
No,
he
actually,
can call
just
it.
one.
It's a quick cooldown if he can throw it out and then call it back. Then you just throw it right back out.
So he throws it out. You hold the button as long as you want it to go out, right? And then when you let go of the button, it stops, and it sits there till it doesn't matter if you die. Doesn't matter if you're on the other side of the map. It'll sit there until you call it back. You press that button again, it comes right back to your arm.
Oh, wow.
And it starts regenerating just like Reinhardt's shield does when you have it.
So enemies can still damage it and whittle it down. But if they're not doing anything to it, then it's just gonna sit like Orissa's shield, for example.
Exactly.
Orisa doesn't have a cooldown either, I don't think.
There's no timer on it. It just sits there, which is super cool if you're trying to block off certain areas. You know what I mean? Obviously, people will bring that down. But anyway, so you got that you can use to counter so many people, and you also have a damage absorption, very similar to, and definitely not the same as D.Va's defense matrix. So you're absorbing incoming damage, and he actually converts that incoming damage. Now it's a very short hold on that, but he converts all that incoming damage into shields for himself. He can absorb up to 400 damage, and he already has 400 health.
So it's like Zarya with a mix of D.Va. Like her shield, but instead of damage, he gets more shield back. That's actually a pretty cool mechanic.
Yeah,
he can get up to 800 HP.
Like if you were to use that in the opportunity, like say someone else is using an ult, like a rocket barrage, or maybe even D.Va's bomb, depending on how powerful.
How much can he absorb, and how long does it stay out?
He can absorb up to 400 damage, right, which is a whole bunch, and he can hold it for about 3 seconds tops. So you really have, just like Casey said, you really have to time it right with a good ult. I think he can absorb some ults like Moira's stuff, but I'm not
higher, you think? Or is that maybe that's too high?
There's a video on YouTube where they were testing all the characters of what of each character he could absorb, and I was watching it.
Oh, okay, then I'll definitely check that out because that'll probably answer all the questions I have right now.
So. That being said, I think that's a super cool ability, and he also has this big rock that he can throw and push people like a really good crowd control tool that has a long cooldown as well. His ult is actually really interesting to the point where he flies up in the air, and he's got this huge circle AoE targeting. He targets the ground, picks up the enemies, and slams them down. Now the cool thing is, right, you're not going to kill anybody off the slam down specifically. The slam down only takes half your health. If you got 2 health, it only does 1. If you got 800, it does 400. It cuts your health in half. Now, that being said, while they're floating up and they're getting ready to throw down, he can still attack. And that's where
your team can attack.
And your team can attack. And that's where the kills come from.
So you pull him up, and you put like a diva ball under them.
Damage, and drop. Now, it takes half damage from the time they were lifted up, so that's how you can really gauge it. So he's really calculated, and he could fly up while he's doing that ult.
You know what would be?
So that's a good starter. That's a good starter. You go in, you pop it, now everybody automatically starts with half health. Well, whoever you hit with it. Now, guess what? They're at a disadvantage.
What if you used him and Hammond's ults together?
Oh, bro, wow.
He lifts him in the air. Hammond throws the bombs underneath though, and then he slams them down into the bombs. That would be so dope.
That's messed up.
We gotta make that happen.
That's what I love about Overwatch. You know, every new character has some really cool combos that you can do with something.
Start to synergize and stuff.
Yeah, when Doomfist first came out, right? Zarya and Doomfist were the key, the wombo combo. You gather everybody up, and Doomfist comes down, slams them all down. Super cool. Right now is not as effective because people are learning how to counter stuff, and you got Baptiste with the immortality field, blah blah blah. Anyway, that's what I love about Overwatch, the combination abilities that you can do if you got a good team who likes to synergize, who gets creative, and has that good that good damage and opportunity sense. So I'm looking forward to Sigma.
Yeah, he seems really cool.
Yeah, and I want to hear more of his story. He's got this strange melody in his head that he keeps hearing. It's
the vibe gave me like like a cutscene from like Dishonored or something. The way the characters looked, the way he looked, like the split personality thing. I think does that come into play at any point, or is
there are any of his voice lines kind of like debating each other or something?
They only have one voice line out right now in the PTR, and it's so cheesy. He says, "I don't think you understand the gravity of things."
Wow.
Oh god, they couldn't help themselves.
And I'm thinking, like, yo, why would they do that so cheesy, line? And then I thought about if I was making this character, I'd definitely make that joke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, okay, I get it. So yeah, I'm excited for Sigma. I in general, I'm a tank main. I love tanks. So I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to fight against a Sigma and try and take him down, find out his weak spots, and fight with him and how to cover those weak spots. So,
right, yeah. Whenever they add new stuff into long-running games, it always kind of injects a little bit more life into it, and that's what really helps the community from getting stale.
Mm-hmm.
On the vein of adding new things to Overwatch, they're also adding the 222, the roll.
Right, yeah.
That's going to change the game immensely.
Especially for the pro scene that apparently people have been getting kind of bored of watching because this GOATS comp has kind of just been making everything pretty much like stalemates and stuff, right?
Overwatch League is boring as heck right now. Everybody's playing the same team. And when you play somebody different, right, it's either exceptional or that's why they lost.
Right.
So when you got 2 DPS, 2 tanks, and 2 heals, and now what that means, and I was talking to my girl and some of my friends about it yesterday, what that means is that as whatever role you are, you have multiple choices, and you don't have to worry about someone coming in and taking those choices except for that one person. You know what I mean? So people can really strategize. Your DPS is just going to be Tracer Torb, right? And that's how that's going to go. No one's going to switch off and do 4 DPS, right? It's locked for a good reason. Great strategy. I'm excited about it, and I think everyone who's watching the Overwatch League or who wants to watch the Overwatch League is excited about it as well. As far as
because it makes people mix things up as opposed to just doing the same.
And you have to be creative, and you have to play your role.
And it forces you to play other parts of the field as well.
And it's good. It's good that Blizzard went ahead and made that call because it is up to them ultimately. Like, it's their game.
Exactly.
If the best strategy within the meta is to do this, then the pro level players are going to do that because they're putting their time, their effort, their money, like their livelihoods on winning games. So they're going to use the winning strategy. They don't care that it's boring. They have to win. That's their job.
They really don't. Exactly.
So yeah, it's on Blizzard to basically change those rules or change those characters to make it more viable and interesting for spectators to watch. So and they did just that. Hopefully, we'll see if that works out and actually.
Can I go on a tiny tangent on Blizzard real quick?
Go right ahead.
Tiny tangent. Okay. Yes, good on them for the roll lock, right? Bad on them for not making a black female character.
Right. I was actually thinking that.
heroes. I think it's 31 heroes now. Not one of them is a black woman.
They pulled the Disney where they had no black movies, and then they did The Lion King. Was like, that counts.
Yeah, right. Or they did Princess and the Frog, and she was a frog for 90% of the movie.
But that came after. Yeah, and then they didn't even do it right when they did that. Like, they introduced Effie and Orissa, but Effie's not a playable character, and Orissa's a robot.
Yeah, and everyone keeps saying, well, she's a black female. No, she's not.
Yeah, like, that doesn't
She's an
count.
African robot.
Like, Ash could have been a black woman easily. Like, there's really nothing in her history. Honestly, Sigma could have been a black woman. Like, what is his background? What country is he from?
He's Swedish, I want to say, or something like that. But what I did want to say about, because a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, Sigma could have been a black woman." Yes, and I say yes, but I don't want the first black woman to be schizophrenic and crazy,
evil,
and she could be a bad guy.
Yes, she could be a bad guy, but you don't want to have mental issues. But I guess, but honestly, that can be nitpicky. I see exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's like, can we just get the representation, period? Because the only black dude, and Lucio is like Afro.
No, there's 3
Latino?
black dudes now.
Is there? Oh, because Baptiste, right, yeah.
Baptiste,
They just got Baptiste. I forgot about him.
He's Haitian, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy, but the first
Lucio's
one
Brazilian.
was Doomfist, who was a bad guy, you know? But I don't think...
Yeah,
people
he's a super cool bad guy, though.
People didn't focus on him being a bad guy. Oh, why'd you make the black guy a bad guy? It wasn't that. It was, we have a black guy. So... they just need to do it. Like, that's point and parcel right there. Like, why haven't they done it yet?
Ash could have been a black woman, no problems. She was a childhood friend, or she knew McCree growing up. Okay, she could have been black, no McCree growing up. She's rich. She could have been a black rich woman. That's super cool. You know what I mean? Like, she could have had this. Something tells me there's no facts behind this. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say that first. There's no facts behind this, but something tells me that somebody felt hurt by someone at Blizzard felt hurt by a black woman and didn't want to put them in the game for whatever reason.
Damn.
That's just so you think Jeff Kaplan was hollering at some sisters?
I'm not saying him first. But I feel like somebody somehow.
I mean, he's the boss. He's responsible. He answers for the entire rest of that team. Yeah,
he's the face for sure.
So it's up to him.
Go ahead.
Isn't Farah? Isn't she Egyptian?
Farah's Egyptian. Yes.
Where's
Farah and Anna an Egyptian. That's Africa.
That's
okay.
North Africa.
And you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying,
you know, like
I got to give you both sides.
A lot of Egyptians don't necessarily claim African, and like yes, she's African, but she's not black. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like not in the way
I get you.
Not in the way you think of when you think of black woman. Like South Africans are technically Africans.
Yeah.
But like they aren't black.
They still got the good credit scores, you know what I'm saying?
So I mean, was there anything else you wanted to add about Sigma's inclusion in Overwatch specifically, or?
No, not necessarily. I'm excited for it. I want to see gameplay. I'm excited for new chess piece on the board. Let's do it.
All right, are you any predictions on when he'll drop in the actual game?
I think very shortly after the summer games end.
Do you know when that ends?
Which is coming up in about a week.
A week? I gotta go buy that Beach Hanzo.
Yeah. That Beach Hanzo looks super cool. If you didn't play last week, you missed out on the American Reaper skin. This week is the Chinese Mei skin, and I think next week is a German Reinhardt skin. That's what it is next week. So, get those 9 wins in, man.
Oh, so those 9 wins each week just give you a skin?
Give you those 3 skins.
So there's no way to get them without doing that. Oh man, that's crazy. I didn't realize.
You can't do it without. You have to play. You got to put in that work. Yeah. So, but I predict a week or 2 after the summer games ends, you're going to see Sigma roll out. Yeah. And I don't think it's just going to be him released. They'll probably do like a little event of something straight after.
That's cool. We'll definitely probably do some of that on stream at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah. You already know.
But in other news, another online game, GTA Online, they recently did a casino update, the Diamond Casino and Resort. We played a little bit of that this past Friday. But apparently, that update has been banned in 50 or so countries all over the world. And it's Rockstar that actually implemented this ban. So it's not like not the country itself. Like certain countries have regulations that Rockstar was aware of and decided this probably is going to be problematic here. We're going to lock it because of your region. So what do you guys' takes on Rockstar kind of self-policing the gambling aspect of its new update?
I think it's very responsible on their end, to a certain degree. Okay, I'm gonna say it's responsible for them to recognize that this could be a problem for gamblers. Right? I think it's irresponsible for them to release it in the first place.
To just make a gambling related update, right?
It was one of our first episodes. We talked about gambling in games, right? We talked about loot boxes and that whole system, and I think I brought up GTA and the casino, and I was saying like, yo, if they open that up, it can't be something where you can pay real money to use that money to gamble. It had to be another currency, and you know they.
Yeah. Well, they said KC,
they didn't listen to me at all.
Additional currencies, so
it's Casey's fault.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like multiple currencies. He likes just one currency, and that's what you use.
This is a different situation because it's recreating a casino, and in a casino, for that exact purpose. But for that exact purpose in a casino, they have you play money with your real money so that you don't feel as bad when you're like putting chips on the table as opposed to bills and stuff. It's a psychological thing. But this is just recreating that.
I think they're on a very, very thin line.
Yeah. I think the only defense that they have, right? You can buy money with you can buy in-game money with real money, use it to gamble and get more money, right? Mm-hmm. Or you could just buy all the money you wanted to win anyway. That's the only defense they have, in my opinion.
Yeah. So if you're buying all this money, you can necessarily just went and buy what you wanted.
If you wanted $1 million, you could have just bought $1 million.
Yeah, you could have just bought the $1 million and then buy the stuff. You're right. But that's not the rush. Like the gambling rush is winning the money. Like you want to feel like you came out ahead. So if you start losing, you're like, okay, let me try to put in real money to then get the fake money to then win back the money that I lost.
See, me, I would gamble to get money, to become rich. Yeah. But if I'm already rich,
then you wouldn't need to gamble. But then that's you, but like you're not drawn in by the euphoric feeling of the win, of coming out ahead and stuff. Like that's the thing that kind of sucks people in. And I feel like the fact that it's digital is a little worse because if you do actually become lucky,
know the odds.
Well, not even that. If you do become lucky and you win all this money back, it's not money that you can ever return back to your pocket. Like you put in real money to get the digital currency, and then you win more digital currency.
Money's gone.
Yeah, like in an actual casino, you can actually walk back out of there with actual money.
So whether you win it or lose it,
you just lost.
That's another defense for them. It's not actually gambling. You just purchasing.
Yeah.
Well, it's gambling without return. Kind of what they were saying about the loot boxes.
That's called a purchase.
Because they were saying the loot boxes were pretty much.
But the fact that it's framed in a gambling thing, and I think me and Jeff and one of our Xbox friends, the Super, on our Friday stream, we were hang out in a casino. We were really just gambling in the casino. Like that's the fun we were having, is we were in there playing blackjack and roulette and whatever.
Three card poker.
Yeah, 3-card poker or whatnot. It's literally the same thing as just being in a casino, walking around with your friends and gambling. So it's that exact feeling they're recreating there. So to say, oh no, it's just a purchase, that comes off as disingenuous when you've kind of accurately modeled the entire framework of a gambling institution in this game. Like it is gambling, just not
even the whole wheel that you spend once a day. You have a chance to win a car.
Right, yeah.
So every day you're going to log in, go on that wheel, and spin it. And most likely you're going to gamble while you're in there.
Yeah.
I only say it's just a purchase because at the end of the day, your bank account only sees it as a purchase. That's the overall scale impact, right? I'm talking about your real life bank account. Mm-hmm. Nothing else happens after you make that purchase. It's done. There's no other impact. Now, if you want to go into how you feel about the in-game currency, I can see, there's mixed feelings about that, whether you like it or you're not, or it's addicting or not, whatever, right? But that, I think the only defense they got is that, you're not, you buy the money. You can buy $1 million if you want it, or you can buy $10 if you want it. It's just the purchase. Nothing's coming back. They're not guaranteeing that you're gonna get, you're gonna pay your car note this month. They're just saying, play the game.
Yeah, I mean, it honestly, it really is, like Jeff put it, it is a thin line. Like,
it's scary.
Yeah,
it's scary.
It's so close to the real thing, but just far enough away to where they don't ban it in America. Yeah. But like all these other countries, they're not even going to take the chance.
I like that they did that, though. I like that they did that. They say, you know what, guys, we're gonna respect what you guys got going on. We're not even going to bring it up.
Yeah, they're not going to invite the controversy of waiting to have the country step in. They're just going to
ban it.
Yeah, ban it outright at the beginning.
I think that was smart. That was a good move. Yeah, I think it was a good move, and it showed that they care and they think about where they're releasing their games and the impact that it has.
Yeah, because think about who's ever done that before. Who's ever
like released?
Yeah,
we're
not going to release it here because we know there's an issue here that we want to kind of prevent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was some of that in the South Park Stick of Truth game.
Oh, really?
But I don't know. See, I didn't play this game. I just heard about this part. But apparently,
I love that game.
Oh, really? There's a section in that game where you're like under the sheets where someone's parents are having sex.
Oh my god, yes. That was near the beginning.
Yeah, that whole section is like replaced with like a message saying like this isn't allowed in your region, so we have to give you this message, blah blah blah. But then it described what happens in it.
Oh wow.
I think in Australia and some other places like they're not allowed to do that. Matter of fact, knowing that they weren't going to be allowed to do that, they basically made that section as opposed to just cutting out the thing so that they just don't see it and know it's there. Yeah. But it kind of reads as like salt, like they're like, well, your country is saying you can't see this stuff, so like they're kind of mocking them, yeah. But they did kind of in this vein, they kind of preemptively went like, we'll make this thing to kind of cover up the thing that they're not allowed to see.
Oh.
In South Park's defense, I mean, they're edgy like that anyway. They be poking at everybody.
Yeah,
that's kind of their
GTA is
style.
the same way. GTA is always with controversy almost every single release. So they knew, honestly, this could be not so much them taking care of other people and whatnot. It's more so them taking care of themselves. They knew we're GTA, we're the bad boy on the block. We release a gambling DLC. All these countries are going to be hype to come after GTA again about them trying to promote gambling. So let's just get ahead of it. You know, it could be in that vein too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure it's a win-win situation.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much going to be it for GTA Online's casino stuff. We're going to move now into our top threes. We had two. I think we're just going to do the one today before we finish up because we're kind of running long. Well, I'll let you guys actually choose. We have top 3 vehicles / mounts, so creatures and stuff that characters can ride on in games, or top 3 most challenging games. We'll put it to a vote. What do you guys want to actually go over?
I mean, the mounts was my idea, so I'm actually going to jump on that one.
Okay, so we got one vote for top 3 vehicles / mounts. Jeff, what are you trying to do?
All right, we can do the challenging games next week. Let's do the
okay,
mounts.
Yeah, we can roll it over. So let's do mounts today.
You threw me through a loop there. I was like, oh no.
All right, so Blue, did you want to go last, or did you want to start off with your list?
I think I got some good ones. This time I'm gonna go last.
All right, I can go first if Jeff, you don't mind.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So my 3, you guys already know I'm a big fan of the Halo series.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
But where you might think I would go Warthog because that's a really good vehicle, I actually like the Ghost. Right? Yeah. It's a super futuristic vehicle. It has guns on the front. It like slides left. Oh my god, that thing is fun, and like the boost that it has when you're like actually
run over people.
Honestly, the Destiny has a good vehicle too. The Sparrow.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just a Ghost without guns on it. Like that's how it moves.
And that's what sucks about it though. It had no guns.
Oh yeah, because it had no guns.
Yeah.
But like the ghost in Halo is the camera's pulled back further, so you have more maneuverability. You can shoot around stuff. Like, it's really strong in like PvP. It's a really fun weapon to use, and because of like its like curved nose, oftentimes you can like boost up hills and like draw some other machine. Like, you can boost off of like the Wraith tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
That thing is like stupid fun.
I thought it was not just fun driving it, but playing against it, because you can even jump on and kick somebody off.
Yeah, it had those cool disarming
yourself.
mechanics. Yeah, I think there was a lot of good vehicles in Halo, but I think the Ghost is probably the top one for me.
That's a good one, yeah.
But so other than that, I'm gonna go into F-Zero territory. The Red Gazelle, which is if you guys remember the robot. The Mighty Gazelle. He was one of the original racers in like the old F-Zero on NES and stuff. But in F-Zero X, where I first found him, like the way that they call them machines in F-Zero, but the way that machine looks reminded me a little of like the TIE Fighter in not the TIE Fighter, I'm sorry, the X-Wing in Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
I could see the X-Wing or a speeder. Yeah, I could feel that.
Yeah, so it has that kind of a build, and it was like my favorite car to use in that game, and I played the crap out of it. I've literally beat every level with every car in that game, and I had all the records with the Red Gazelle. Like, me and my brothers would race each other on like time trial stuff, and I had all my records. I would use the Red Gazelle to do that. So I really just love that thing as like a racing game vehicle.
The Red Gazelle reminds me of the not exactly, but just the feel of it reminds me of Outlaw Star.
Yes. Yeah, it looks a lot like that ship.
Thing.
Yep. Yeah, I like the way that design looks. Yep. So that's my second one. And my last one is an actual creature. It's Yoshi from the Mario series.
Oh, okay.
Yoshi.
So you always do something off the wall, but that was good. That was good.
Yoshi. Yoshi, honestly, is probably the first mount that I'd ever played with, you know? And like the fact that when Mario gets on him, it like changes the music, so you can actually feel more powerful as them drums in. Yeah, all his sound effects. Like, Yoshi's just a super cute creature.
How do you feel when you first had to sacrifice Yoshi?
Dude.
To the end of a level.
I honestly don't know, but it was for the greater good. So Yoshi understands. Yeah, he knows that it wasn't personal. And you know,
I don't think Yoshi got autonomy until Smash Brothers.
Right.
I feel like
honestly, I didn't think that there were multiples.
No type of intelligence.
In my head as a kid, I feel like anytime you got a Yoshi, it was the same Yoshi. Like, it wasn't like this one died and there was a new one until like you get the different color ones. Like, okay, so there were blue ones, then there were red ones, but the green ones were always the same Yoshi. Like, that's just Yoshi. He just comes back. So that's probably how I rationalized it as a child.
Yoshi.
But those are my three. Jeff, what did you have?
So my first is going to be Roach from the Witcher series.
Aha, the horse, right?
Roach.
Yes.
Okay.
In the DLC, which is actually very, very funny.
This is a horse, right?
Yes.
It's a horse.
It's a giant roach that Gerald just rides on.
You rides the roach with wings.
Lucha.
There's a part in the story where you take something where you can actually talk to Roach.
Whoa.
Oh, like the horse has a voice.
Roach is supposed to be a girl, but he has a man's voice when you talk to him with this hallucinogen, which is funny.
That is actually pretty funny.
Okay.
If you ever have a chance, if you're not gonna play the game, check out that particular cutscene. It is super funny. But he's always there. You whistle for him, he comes. He always comes.
Okay.
So he can't die like, say, the horse is in Red Dead. Like,
no. Only time he'll knock you down is if his fear meter fills all the way up.
So you'll buck you and then like run off or something.
And then run off. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Second, it's going to be the Banshee from Halo.
Halo. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really good flying vehicle.
Yeah, I love the Banshee because it's like, to me, it was the vehicle that I could fly in the sky with. I can go all over. I could pretty much, like when they had what was the name of that map where it was a base here and it was a base here in Halo 2. Yep, I could fly from here all the way to the end of the
coagulation. Map. I think in Halo 2 they changed the name
coagulation.
Yes. Without being seen and then infiltrate right through there. I love the Banshee. So that was actually my favorite Halo
you hijacked
vehicle.
that joint too.
Even in Halo Wars, it was actually really, really good.
Why are you still talking about Halo Wars? What are we
Just saying. Just had to put that in there.
What we tell you about Halo Wars?
Just saying.
It's not a real game.
The third one is actually going to be what's her name? Peony?
From
Link's horse.
Oh, Epona.
From Majora's Mask.
Epona, yeah.
Yeah.
Epona.
Well, would it actually be Majora's Mask?
A Link to the Past.
A Link to the Past.
Not Link to the Past.
Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time.
Breath of the Wild.
Ocarina of Time was the first time I fell in love with her.
Do you find Epona
you see her at
in
the
Breath
ranch.
of the Wild?
Huh?
Is there an actual Epona in Breath of the Wild, or is it just a horse that looks like
You
her?
could find her. Yes, you could find Epona.
Okay, because there was like a bunch of like special horses.
Yeah, you can find Epona. She was one of the special horses. You could also get her from the Amiibo. Yeah. But you could find her in the game. She was a special horse. But yes, the first time you saw her at the ranch.
Mm-hmm. And like she's like a pony, and you like like train with her.
When you come back, she's actually full grown.
Yeah, like that was cool. Yeah.
That was always nostalgia to me. That's actually my favorite Zelda game. Not just for that reason, but a lot of reasons. But that was one of the highlights of that game.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's all three for me.
That's a strong list.
2 horses.
All right.
On there.
You did put 2 horses on there. Boo, what you got?
Okay, so for my first one, we've all mentioned Halo. I put the Warthog in there, not just because of its firing capabilities, but with my friends in the Warthog, I felt like we were unstoppable, especially in Halo 2.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. Like, load up the truck, let's go, guys.
Right, you would fly over to the enemy base, somebody steals a flag and hops in, and like, let's go!
Let's go! We gotta go!
I was always the driver. I felt like I was a good driver, and when you got the right friends, they linking up on that Gatling gun, it was a lot of fun, and that always has a special place in my heart. My second one, you guys might not be familiar with it, but it comes from Saints Row. It's called the Genki Manapult. All right?
I played Saints Row 3. Remind me of, was it in that?
So, yeah, it was in the third one. Dr. Genki was this crazy Japanese like game show host, big cat head mascot that was actually going around killing people. But he had this the Genki Manapult. In the front of this truck, it had his big cat face, and it actually had a huge vacuum, and it would suck in people or objects.
Oh, I remember this thing. Yeah, it would like shoot the people out.
Damn.
So
that is a silly ass vehicle.
Man, it's so much fun though, because you're fighting people and you're sucking in their friends and shooting their friends at them, and they're dying from that. It was just, oh my gosh, I couldn't get enough of the Genki Manapult.
Genki Manapult.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And my last is a little bit more classier than the rest of them. Final Fantasy 15.
The Regalia.
Oh, that vehicle that they were driving around in. That thing also like turns into like a flying machine or something, right?
It can fly later on, yeah.
It does. It can fly. It flew later on in the game in 15, and it can fly right off the bat in 14. But I think it's just a classy, heavy-looking car.
Yeah, it looks like a classic vehicle, but like with futuristic trappings.
I think a car company made one.
Really?
And they put it in Forza 4. Yeah. Forza Horizon 4, actually.
And it flew in that game too, didn't it?
I'm not sure about it flying in the game, but I know they actually made a ATV version of it as well.
They also put the Warthog in Forza 4.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Forza 4 is doing a lot. They did the whole Lego thing too, which it looks amazing.
That actually looks kind of really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, the Regalia is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous piece of hardware. And even though you don't do too much fighting or anything like that in the vehicle, I think it's such a nice, relaxing ride. And it's got the bucket seats in the back. All you boys just loaded up and just going hunting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love the Regalia.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to the agency vehicle from Crackdown.
From Crackdown?
Yeah. That thing transforms. Like, as you become stronger, you get in the car, and the car, like, transforms into
I think that's how
cars.
it should be in general.
That's pretty cool.
Like that's in real life.
Should be. Yeah.
Technically, it's like that because as you get stronger, you get more money, and then you just buy better cars. So, but that's gonna do it for the episode 10 of the BBET GamesCast. Blue, where can people find you if they're looking for you on the internet?
People can find me.
What's your
on
address?
Facebook. Oh yeah, 123 Fake Street, Atlanta, Georgia. No, you can find me on Facebook and Mixer. My name is Bluebones, BLUB0NES, and on Facebook you search Play with Bluebones, and you can see our weekly schedules pumping out of there. I'm putting some more content here and there, and then on Mixer. Mixer.com/BLUB0NESXB as an Xbox. Check me out there. I got a website coming up pretty soon here. I had to tweak some stuff last week, so y'all will see a little bit more of Blue on the web. You know what I'm saying?
On the web.
On the webs.
Superman Jeff, where can people find you?
Hey, you can find me at Superman Jeff Plays on Facebook, or you can find me on Mixer at www.mixer.com/SupermanJeff12.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. You gave the whole web address. That threw me off. But as you know, I am Sigma, not the Overwatch character, but the entity.
Yes.
You can find me on all social media at SigmaGears9. You can find me on Facebook at Sigma and Sun. And definitely check out my work on escapistmagazine.com. Their YouTube as well, where all my reviews go, and a lot of my reviews actually show up as articles on escapistmagazine.com. So check out all that stuff. Please do visit our YouTube channel, BBETGaming. If you search for that, you'll find it to see this podcast as well as all the other stuff that we post up on there.
Yep.
And hit the follow and subscribe buttons there and on all of our stuff because it really helps us out. Knowing that our audience is growing helps us at some point eventually start to monetize this by maybe throwing up ads. That's coming in the near future.
And it motivates us to give you guys better stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. So please do show us a little bit of support in that way. We really need it and appreciate it. So thanks for listening. Thank my two co-hosts for showing up for this stuff. That's going to be it for episode 10. Peace.
Peace.
Concentrate on a nigga while I'm out here trying to get him and forget it. Shaking my head, these niggas that don't speak. Trying to get bread, your niggas in deep sleep. At least I'm woke, nigga, I'm a beast, at least I know. Whoa. Try to get rid of me, but I am the epitome of acidity. Like it's fatter than every city beat. I had a dream and I seen just what I'm finna be. The shit is